Rebel soul child got a fist ball, I'm a respawn of ancestors, and I'm blessed, They are not him, tell him fess up, I get check stub, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless, yeah, I got next up, right, no we not the same, cause see when I look in your iris, you likely to talk but not ready to ride, you do better keeping it quiet, my pen is ignited, my soul is enlightened, I like who I am but I'm biased, the palette is right, and my drip is a fountain, I'm not like these regular guys, all of that talk is misguided, she like the way I make the tape print, but the way I make the words play is grim, I'm the reaper reaching for the kill switch, the label cut the check like the blazement, something sparking where his brain is, the beat is somewhere where they prayers in, Geronimo the way I make the bass jump when no parachute is taken.
What is going on, everyone? This is Josh and my boy James. This is Throwing Hands, the #1 MMA podcast in the world. What's going on, man? Long time no see.
I know, man. It's been forever since we've been on the show.
Yeah, bro. It's been a hot minute, like a good month or so. But I mean, hey, we've been busy though.
I mean, have we ever? Have we ever?
Yeah.
Shoot. Tell them a little bit about what we've been doing.
Well, for the audience at home, we've been doing it quite a bit. Recently, we started working with Rage in the Cage. We started covering their MMA and their Muay Thai. And we started even covering boxing too. So we got linked up with OG Boxing. So we got some exciting stuff going on.
Yeah, man. A lot of exciting stuff. Been branching out. Really wanted to get out there. Big ups to Ruff for helping us get our feet wet and kind of get our understanding of what we wanted to do and how we wanted to implement our plan. So really, really big ups to them for that. And now it's, we've been out there doing our thing. For those of you who just haven't yet, follow us on Instagram, Throwing Hands 23. That's where a lot of our highlight videos and things like that go. But yeah, man, we missed a lot of UFC as well.
Bro, you're telling me how many fights did we miss and we not talk about? Like, we had the Izzy versus Alex 2. We just had the Vittori versus Cannonier. Like, bro, the list goes on. Oh yeah, and Oliveira 2 against Beneil Dariush. Like, bro.
And then Marcus debuted. Man, there's
That's
been so
right.
much stuff. We did High Rollers. That's another one we've done. That was a really dope event. If people don't know about High Rollers MMA, High Rollers Wrestling, High Rollers got a couple of different things they got going on. But High Rollers was a really dope event. MMA, marijuana, who couldn't be happy?
Exactly. It was funnier than shit to see quite literally the fight or the jiu-jitsu guys coming literally just onto the stage, smoking a blunt or some shit, and then just passing it off to their buddy and then just going from there and then immediately wrestling.
No, dead ass, true story, no joke. I saw this chick come out, right? Referees, announcers, Roy Nelson's there. So they're announcing the next bout. Chick comes out, stretching, doing her thing. They call the next chick. She comes out the crowd, like she's kicking it. She come out the crowd, the blunt lit, gets onto the mat. I've never seen anything like this. Gets on the mat, blunt lit, okay, hits it, offers it to her opponent. Her opponent's like, nah, I smoke after the match. Hands it to the ref. And the ref goes and disposes of it. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It was a dope event. I really enjoyed that event. Saw a lot of people there. Marcus was there. CJ was there. A lot of great vendors. So yeah, dope event.
Yeah, dude, that, like, when you first told me that story, I was laughing my ass off because I would have never thought of that too. Like, it wasn't until you pointed that out that I realized that, yeah, that did happen. And dude, it was the funniest but most chill event I've ever been to. Like, just the fact that it was set up that way. I was literally just doing like spot on interviews with a couple of jiu-jitsu guys. We met with the guys at Drip, all these big dispensary brands. Like, dude, it was crazy.
Yeah, no, it was really fun. I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be back next time they come out here. I don't know about you, what you think?
Oh yeah, for sure. We're gonna have to cover that.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Rage in the Cage. One of our recent events that we covered. Great night. Got to bring my family out that night. And speaking of family, the fan favorite, fan favorite of the night for sure, by far. So we had to go ahead, link it up, bring him
Mm-hmm.
on. Tell us a little bit about him, Josh.
Oh, hey, let me tell you something. I'm so glad that we got to see this dude fight because let me tell you something. This guy is an animal, like Rob Schneider hunting antelopes and throwing cantaloupes at a couple of jackalopes. He'll catch you with a straight right that'll turn you blind in one eye. Face him and you're in store from a grim adventure. He named his hands Billy and Mandy because when you get hit, you go silly with chicken legs and start dancing, turning frantic with the antics, getting caught with the semantics so tragic and disastrous. But let me go ahead and switch it up and bring on the guy ready to say what's up. Ladies and gentlemen, he's coming in hot like Balboa. He's the one and only Isaiah Figueroa. What's up, my man?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man?
Yes, sir. That was a good one.
Thank you, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you remember that show, Billy and Mandy?
of course. That was a go show.
Dude, I don't know why it clicked in my head because think about it. You knock people out, you like the Grim Reaper, so bring
Yeah,
on the adventure.
yeah, that's perfect. I am.
Awesome. Awesome. But so tell me about yourself, man. You're coming off a very dominant victory over his name was what? Carnum, is that right?
Kareem, I thought.
Kareem. Okay.
Cream.
Yeah, yeah. He was undefeated. Apparently, I beat undefeated guys. The two people that I faced so far that were undefeated, I gave them their first loss, and it's a good feeling being the underdog first off, and then just going out there and getting the job done for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This last one was
So
perfect because we didn't take too much damage. Just had a
Mhm.
little Velcro scratch. That was it.
Yeah, still looking pretty.
Yeah,
right, got out of there unscathed.
yeah.
So do you always roll like that?
That's a plan for sure. But it gets rough for sure. I mean, so far as every fight we're advancing, we're learning
Mhm.
and putting it together more and more, and hopefully it looks like that. But there's a lot of shots that I saw early on that
Mhm.
definitely could polish up on for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but hey, I gotta say, for especially with someone being so young in their career with so much potential, to not only see how much support you have, like bro, there's only been like a few fighters so far we've seen that's gotten such a big crowd like that at this level. And dude, that's definitely one of them. So it's definitely props for that.
Yeah, I mean that's not props to me. That's props to everyone that took the time off and showed up. A lot of people from Cali, from Tucson. They drove.
Nice.
Hey, that's right. Every time I promise it'll be a show because I know if they're not there, they're watching, and I'll be damned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's the good thing, man. I was definitely impressed by the amount of support that you had at the event. They were live from. That was the other thing about it. Your
I like.
corner,
Yeah,
they weren't just cheering you on; they were live the
yeah,
whole time.
yeah.
Mhm.
They love the sport. There's a reason I'm out here representing because it's a lot of energy that sometimes is just pointed out, and I'm trying to give it a little direction. It was great.
Mhm.
The after party was crazy. I had family members trying to wrestle with each other all night. Everybody wanted to fight. It was awesome.
Has
That's
anybody
what's
in the
up.
family follow suit yet?
Uh, Not yet. I honestly, so I got six little brothers, and obviously they're all inspired by it. But fighting, I'd rather them all be into modeling or something.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't gonna lie.
Gotta give us. But yeah, so tell me a little bit about how you got started. Where it came from, where the passion came from. Take me back.
Man, you want to really know? Let me grab some real quick. It's right on my wall real quick.
No, go ahead.
We love that. We love that.
Mhm. I'm jealous how big your closet is.
Hey, I need to close the door because it looks messy if I don't. But so when we graduated or promoted eighth grade, we made a vision board, and I never started training till I was 19 years old. But this was when I was,
Okay.
it's a quote. It's a Rocky Balboa quote. Probably could be
Hey.
everything, but I just Photoshop a little UFC belt. I got like, what is this? Jordan Burroughs, GSP,
Hey.
Mayweather, you know.
Oh, I
damn.
see a little 21 Pilots right there. That's what's
Oh
up.
yeah, that was the first concert I went to when I was like 13, front row, throwing elbows and trying to get hype. It was
Hey, bro, 21 Pilots was the first concert I ever went to. That's what's up.
hey, that's
That's
awesome.
dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
good music for sure. But
Dude,
yeah, I don't know. Just watched it at a bar with my dad. Watched it at home when he'd be turning on the events, and it's the modern gladiator, and I love it.
mhm. Yeah, and you get to have that sense of glory that came with that type of air and that energy, because I think fighting and MMA, especially in combat sports, is right now like the truest sport that kind of really taps into the fire of the human spirit, and kind of just like what makes us want to be so great.
Yeah,
Right.
like, it definitely personifies the human spirit pretty obviously sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
So what was the first art that you really fell in love with?
Wrestling. I made varsity freshman year and goofed around and didn't take it seriously till my junior year, so you know, never went anywhere crazy with it. But as soon as I stepped into a jiu-jitsu class, I was known as a wrestler, so that's what I would say is my first. And then I like boxing, man. I don't know if you noticed, I walked out with the Spanish song. I got Mexican heritage, you know. I got that dirty boxing in me. I like sometimes just throwing down. So
Yeah.
depends
That's
on.
what Yeah, exactly. And that's what I liked about how your strategy was, because you were waiting for him to come in and rush with the combos, and you were just waiting, and then that's when you kept on catching him. And then as soon as the tide started turning, that's when you're starting to put the pressure on, get him against the fence, and start landing those shots.
It's like as he got more aggressive, you got more aggressive, which was I don't think what he expected at the time.
No.
So it's kind of like you lured him in, get him going so you can counter and you can be more effective. So, quick question, because you do say you coach. I saw that you turn fighters into champions, right?
Yeah.
So is that something that you implement in your classes? Do you teach them more to sit back, calm down, look for counters? Are you more of the aggressive guy? Give me a little bit about you.
Yeah. So to be honest, most of my coaching is online. When I'm
Mhm.
in the gym, I'm a student. You know, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to do whatever. But yeah, my personal strategy is, I would say, naturally a counter striker, just because I know I love to brawl. So
Mm-hmm.
try to
Calm
practice,
down.
which was cool. This fight was my first time throwing in the southpaw as my, you know, what I returned back to stance. I always switch around, but I've been orthodox, and I had pretty much, I haven't got an X-rayed yet, but I damn near broke my foot. My toes touched my heel about I think it was 5 days before my fight. So put that foot in the back went south. You know, it was nice.
Wow.
It allows
Damn,
me
you said your toes were touching your heel?
Yeah, I could throw you guys a picture in the DMs of my purple foot 3 days
I,
before the fight, but
I don't
Damn,
want to see
bro.
it. I don't want to see it. I don't like feet. I don't like feet. I don't want to see your toe.
I know. That sounds like it.
I believe you. I believe you. So let me ask you: is that the first time going into a fight that you had to, overcome some adversity, such as an injury and such? Man, a toe injury, man. People don't. If you ain't never had a toe injury before, I played a lot of sports. If
No,
you ain't never had a toe injury, that shit hurts.
it was all 5 of the toes, because
Oh,
it was like the middle of the foot. What that
Middle of the foot just snapped.
Yeah, I got stretched downward, and I pretty much crunched my toes. Like, it was, but not,
Oh.
like, so my first fight, I don't know what I got bad ankles too, apparently, but they never let me down, you know. But I rolled my fucking ankle maybe 2 weeks before my first fight.
Damn.
And that thing was purple going into the fight. This one had the swelling had gone down, and I had a brace on it, but that one was purple and really bad. And you could tell my first performance was terrible. I was just sitting there plodding forward, and
Mm-hmm.
no, I mean, fighting, you ain't never gonna be 100%. You know,
Never.
there's always a little kink here, or a little something there, or Bushin.
Mm-hmm.
You do it for sure. That's where you train through things.
Yeah. And so for yourself in particular in that aspect, because we always touch on the basis of what casual fans don't see what the fighters go through, especially with injuries like that. Like for your perspective and opinion, how is kind of your take on that, especially when you say you went through something just like that 3-5 days before the fight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. First, I mean, you don't really let anyone know going into the fight or anything, but I mean, like you said, how fighting personifies the human spirit. It directly represents life. Sometimes you get the less than perfect hand, and you still got to roll it. If I would
Exactly.
know if I had been like, oh, first of all, I got it on maybe 12 days notice, and was like, oh,
Wow.
and then five days out, injured my foot. Had plenty of reasons to pull out, and it's not how we roll.
That's
Not
what's up,
So,
man.
so not only are you fighting adversity with the injury, but this is your fourth fight in this calendar year.
yeah,
Not I was just say calendar year, but in this 12-month span.
yeah. 12 months.
So yeah, so we got 2 months left before you hit your year mark. What do you plan on trying to sneak back in there again before
Of
then?
course. I mean, homie was talking about running it right back, but as a TKO, 30 days out, we can't make the July 9th show. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm back in there right away, but
Maybe do it on your anniversary.
yeah,
Win the title on your anniversary.
Hey,
yeah.
that's what's up. And what weight class do you fight again?
55. Yeah,
55. Okay. We got a lot of 155ers here in Phoenix, especially
man.
all around. Like,
Man, when I was wrestling, 52s was hot. It's a nice weight class, and it's always athletic studs that are just dog. I like it.
yeah,
So
exactly.
was King of the Cage on pay-per-view as well?
Yeah, that one was live streamed through Pluto. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So your first 4 fights of the year, you're
Mhm.
pay-per-viewed 4 straight times.
Did you see what
It's
that last fight was?
PFL.
Against who?
Iago Wash. Iago Wash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
that was
how
close.
how is that, man? Like, take me through that ride, because most people don't, first of all, get to start like that on such a roller coaster ride like that.
Yeah.
You hit the lights out from the beginning. Your third fight, you're sitting the stage of PFL. We know what just happened with PFL.
Yeah.
So, give me that in your head, coming into that. I seen the pictures, like, on that big stage, the lights are flashing. How does that
Mhm.
feel?
Man, it's surreal. But when you're supposed to be somewhere, that was when the composure really set in. I threw the
Mhm.
first strike, and that changed everything. But yeah, that was crazy. I mean, 100 other people could have been in that position, but they said no one else took the fight. And the second I saw that offer, man, I was like,
Hell
say,
yeah.
let me see what I can do. I knew my whole life I've been fighting uphill, so why not? Why not
Exactly.
credit for it?
Exactly. And plus, you're never gonna really know what your true limits and what your potential is unless you go
Yeah,
for it, man.
yeah. Come on now, this is a fight game. You can't hide from opponents and pick and choose. It's crazy to think that, especially
Exactly.
on.
Hmm. Yeah. And too, with like respect as well, because a lot of fighters too, or just a lot of people in general, to think of taking a fight on 12 days notice, that's a really serious trial to go through. And to have the courage, and not only that, but the faith in your ability and your skill set to be willing to step into that ring and that cage to really prove something, which you did. Like, that was absolutely phenomenal performance.
Yeah. Nah, I've yet to have that my last fight on PFL was the most notice. I was 30 days notice of like the opponent that I had that didn't get swapped out last minute.
Okay.
My second fight, the one I won, the dude didn't show up for weigh-ins, so I got a new opponent the day of.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't you don't get
Yeah.
pick. Yeah, you don't get a pick. I know what I'm there to do, and it might be different depending who's in front of me, but it's gonna get done. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like I
So
said, it's a part of life. When you get an opportunity, if you sit there and think too long, you're gonna lose it. And look at, like you said, it's happened fast. It's happened. Crazy opportunities are falling in front of me, but it's because I say yes to everything.
Exactly.
now I know you said that it was with your dad starting out, him watching stuff, you sitting around a family. Is that I can see that being for sure true because your whole family, I saw it all in them. That's kind of like how our family is. What we do:
Oh
sit
yeah,
around and watch UFC, sit around and
yeah,
enjoy each other's company.
yeah.
Um, During that time, who was it? Kind of like, was there somebody that just kind of drew you into the sport naturally? Was there somebody that just was like, all right, that's the dude?
Yeah. So I mean, my parents, to be honest, my dad never wanted me to do it because brain damage and whatnot. But I,
Yeah.
I said I didn't start training officially till 19, other than wrestling in high school. But no, like drew me into it. I'd have to say Randy Couture, and that was hilarious because I was Biagio's coach, and I wanted to say how much I admired him, but I was trying, I was trying to beat his boy up, so bad circumstances. But they're great people.
Yeah.
I'd say Randy, Tito, the classic guys, Chuck Liddell.
That's the
Those,
true raw era.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Just rawness, and that's all of my fights. I hope to think, no matter injury or not, I'm going out there and I'm gonna leave it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Feeding off that crowd and that energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry
Yeah,
for
you
me.
brought a heavy crowd too, man. Like I know you saw with the highlight reel we made, we got a lot of the crowd, and bro, they were just roaring.
Yeah, that was the first time I was able to fight in Arizona. So this is where I'm from. And 43rd and or where was it? Indian School is 2 blocks from where I grew up on Northern.
Hey,
So everybody was out there. It was perfect.
No,
that's
that's
what's up.
that's always good to be able to do something you love and have it come around full circle and do it in front of your family. Um, you know, Not many people get to, go down that type of path, whether it's creatively, or be able to have something where you're able to have that performance right in front of your entire family. And the dopest part, man, was the passion that they got and the passion that you and them expressed with each other. Uh, After that belt handed to you, and after that, you were able to walk out.
That was awesome.
Right,
Yeah, no,
right, man.
it takes a
Uh,
village, and
Mhm.
like, yeah, I don't. If you know, you know. I don't know. Some people aren't blessed to be born into a family, but you can find one. I have
Exactly.
3 adopted brothers. I have half those people are my friends. You could definitely make your own family.
yeah,
Mhm. Exactly. And that seems to be what a big theme too with this sport is the type of family element that it brings because at the end of the day like you always think of business and personal, but with this sport in particular you can't help but to bring it together because of how much passion and effort and blood, sweat, and tears not only that you put into it, but the entire support system behind you, your coaches, your training partners, the guys you spar with, the people that are there with you at 3-4 in the morning on that run, texting you to be there to help you grow and become a champion.
Yeah, yeah, knowing it, I just hope it shows. It sucks because with fighting you get such a short time. So it's
Mhm.
dope. It's dope to see that you guys got the message because that's what it's all about right there. And everything else will come as long as I got that by my side. It's gonna be a fun journey. It's the after party. Like I said, we all went back. Everybody that was there went back to the house, and we had a good time.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You definitely gotta, know when you get into this game now. And we talk about all the time how thin of a line there is between an amateur and a pro now.
Hmm.
Um, you know, when you get into this game, you have to know you want to do it. You can't fiddle around
You
for a
get
few
hurt.
years. Yeah. Not
Mhm.
only will you get hurt now, but like you said, brain damage, long-term injuries, it's
Yeah.
rapidly increasing.
Yeah.
The longer you play, those injuries long-term are rapidly
And people are getting good. I don't know if you noticed, people are getting real good at this.
Yeah.
real good.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? So in your eyes, what's the most dangerous and most important? It could be the same, it could be different for each. But what's your most dangerous? What's your most important art form inside that cage?
Yeah. I mean, most important, I could definitely say my dad taught me this. He grew up in La Puente, California, and he said, always keep your jaw tight if you're in a dangerous situation, the club or a house party, or it saved my butt multiple times. And when I'm in that cage, you catch me with my jaw slacking, that's my fault. And
Yeah.
so I don't know what you call that, awareness when I'm in there. Just like I
Yeah.
could hear everybody in the crowd individually. You're at such a high level of tuned in, man. I'm in there and I'm aware. That's most
Yeah.
important. Skill wise, dang, I'm gonna have to say probably movement, because that's the only time I've been getting caught up, is when people can move a little bit. But
Okay.
I got
So
answers.
okay. And so are those areas that you've just been continuously sharpening your tools and your craft? Because I know too, especially with like what James was just saying, that line is becoming so thin. You have to be such a phenomenal athlete on every single discipline across every endeavor.
Yep.
And not only to be aware of the situation and to be able to read it, because this game is such a mental sport, but to understand movement, footwork, agility, the ability to read the situation, adapt, and be able to conquer in that scenario.
Yeah, that's why the two things I gave were so broad, because
Mm-hmm.
you have to be aware in every skill. You have to be
Exactly.
you have to do that in every skill, and you don't. Maybe one person might not find out, but the next person is gonna find out. And
Mm-hmm.
eventually you'll get exposed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you can address it, you can learn, but you have to be built for that, and you have to be willing to take those on the chin. And I would say I lost my first fight with 18 seconds left, I think it was, and that was because the last minute he was able to turn it up. So after
Mm-hmm.
that, conditioning, and the next one with Biagio, I lost because I was controlling the fight, I believe, and then for about 20 seconds, I let up, and my mind wandered about what am I gonna do next round, because I realized we're both dogs. Ain't nobody gonna give
Mm-hmm.
up. So I was already planning for next round, which I should have left in the coach's hands, and so more
Yeah.
aware. That's what I learned in that fight, was more aware. More focused.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
learn,
And be present too in that moment without letting your head try to skip 2 steps ahead.
man.
Right.
You disappear for an instant, and the guy in front of you been training his whole life or anything close to that, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely are. And that's the thing, man. It's mano a mano. This is like one of those sports. It's not basketball. It's not football.
No football helmet tied behind. No,
No, and it's you versus
drop it on
them.
your knees.
Right, right. And if you're not handling it like you said for 20 seconds, I was like, man, what am I gonna do to this dude in the next round?
Dude,
And next thing you know,
fine.
lights out. Ain't
Everything's
no
gone,
next round.
Mm-hmm.
or not even lights out, but just it's the opportunity.
Whatever it might be,
Whatever you're
Yeah.
planning on, you disappeared for
it's gone.
2 seconds.
And we've seen it so many times, so
That's
many different
that.
areas of the game,
Yeah,
you know. So I do want to ask a little bit more about, your coaching,
yeah,
how you kind of got into it, what you have going on,
yeah.
flex for a minute. Let us know what you got.
Hey, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So with the coaching, I mean, I appreciate that. Most of it's it started with bodybuilding. I before I got into fighting, I always tried to. I was real skinny as a kid. I wanted to get big, so I think after I started when I was probably 13, 14, like trying to work out. After what was that? About 8 years, I figured out a pretty good system to get you the results. My body changed
Okay.
so much with fighting. It gets rough to be the example, especially for a bodybuilding physique.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I could get you for sure. is you're gonna. I mean, look at my little brothers. If you want example, those dudes are studs, and two are turning 16, two are 19. You know, or one's 19, and it's crazy. But other than
So
that, my expertise obviously is in fighting, and
Hmm.
those are like kind of on demand basis, and teach you any skill you want, or I could, if you really want, meet you somewhere and do one-on-ones. And
IBF champ in the future?
what was that?
IBF is it in the IBF the body weight the bodybuilding?
Ah, man, maybe everything. You know, everything takes time. You can
Mm.
do it, but that'll be like what 3 to 6 months away from fighting. And you said,
Yeah.
it's a dog eat dog world out here. You take that time off, that's you're gonna see it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so what when you're coaching and you're doing these classes, what's the takeaway, especially on a mental note, that you want these people to have when they train with you, they work with you, and they have the opportunity to learn under you? What's your takeaway that you want them to have from it?
Yeah, so that's, I mean, the slogan is turning athletes into champions, because it's everybody can work out, everybody can do that, but if you're trying to take that next step, there's a mental shift, there's a reality shift, it's a different step that you start taking. And for me, it's, I mean, you taking yourself more seriously, you can realize you
Mm,
got life, there's a bunch of things, but I would say, yeah, that's most important thing you'll take away. You could get ripped, you could learn the system of how to manipulate your body and what works. I mean, it's real simple, pretty
mm,
much. Eat more calories and you work out if you want to bulk, and eat less if you're trying to cut. And the real thing you need to learn is how to be consistent, how to deal with life, how to when have a system that you stick to no matter what happens, no matter
mm-hmm.
hell comes, fucking, it doesn't matter. You stick to it, and that's what you learn. And sometimes you need I needed accountability. I need accountability now, and that's mostly what I offer is, along with the game plan and all that, just
Yeah.
in there. And I'm doing it, so you better be right there with us. You get put in a group chat, and we all motivate each other, and it's dope. It's all about,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah,
Any
exactly. And have that camaraderie and the brotherhood, and what, because it's kind of like, what, like, I don't know, with everyone who's mixed on Andrew Tate, but how he points out, like, imagine if you get 20 men in a room and see what they could achieve by bringing in that unilateral focus on a single goal. And for each and every one of you is become champions. And if
yeah,
you could put that focus into this art form, dude, it leaps and bounds ahead, and the type of potential that it brings you is absolutely out of this world.
yeah, and you don't even have to be an athlete. Just I
Hmm.
it as a lot of, I mean, basketball players. Everybody has a different physique. I work with
Hmm.
people who just like to be on computers and do that stuff. But you control your body, you master your body.
Hmm.
You realize that you're the one deciding it instead of rolling through life. Man, everything else gets pretty easy. They say after wrestling, everything is easy, and I take a lot of that into the mentality aspect.
Yeah. Yeah. Because essentially, what the creation of combat, or like what we see in like ancient forms like karate, all those things, their creation was the ability to gain control over oneself and the potential of your body. So to be able to manipulate your own body in that shape and form is, like, again, the truest art form that goes back
Yep.
to that raw gladiator days.
Yep. That's how I ended up here. I started with trying to change my body a little bit just to see what we could do. And then now I'm trying to, martial arts is the combination of your mind and your body. And, you know,
Hmm.
it's a, it's a beautiful thing sometimes when it's in your favor, and sometimes it's not. That's life right there. Some
Yeah.
you're on your highs and sometimes you're on your lows.
Like Rocky
Yeah,
Balboa
yeah.
quote.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Story.
Yeah, I got it right here. Here.
That
Yeah.
cracked me up too, because what I said at the end was Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, hey man, you can't. It's you wouldn't even believe the story if I told you. When
Well, what's story time?
when we think of like how we got here.
Mhm.
It's a good one, but
Yeah.
like with my coaching, I know you have something that you want to do, and
Mm-hmm.
You learn. For me, the simplest way is to teach you how to take control of your body, and then
Mm-hmm.
you and through the training transfer that to whatever skill you want to master and become a champion in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's it. It definitely means a lot, and I mean, some of the I don't know coincidence. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just something we've been noticing early on in what we've been doing. But some of the most zoned in fighters are also coaches. Um, and there's something about it. It goes hand in hand.
It's like
And
you can't.
right,
Nothing else I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
it's almost as if you haven't started yet, you're about to, or you're going to here soon. Like
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. If you are, yeah,
It's a circle of life.
right. It's that
yeah,
360.
yeah.
It's the
Because if
360.
if you're truly doing what you're saying, you're trying to master this world, and that includes the body you're in, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to push it. I never thought I'd be kicking people in their head. This one, since I was southpaw, the kicks weren't hitting them in the head, but I've landed some in the head, and I never thought I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
weird.
almost, something about just giving back as well. I mean, look at Ben. Ben
Yeah,
Henderson gets to now do the same and for his
yeah,
wife.
yeah,
For her to go ahead and do her thing in her career, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
that's just
Some guy.
another testimony to how this sport at 360 is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I noticed is that the sport is pretty small. I mean, when I was at the PFL in Vegas, Maurice Green was the only one that pretty much talked to me, and I had my braids all nice, and he came up. He was like, "What's up? Where'd you get those? I know you didn't get them done out here. It was a good time." And he let me in the hot tub with him and his squad, and it's a small world, and people, yeah, like you're saying, generally have the same values in here, and even
Mm-hmm.
the people that are drawn to it have the same values. Definitely, everybody shouldn't fight. A lot of the people that are even fighting shouldn't fight, but you can get something a lot deeper than just people smacking each other around.
Did you catch his last fight,
Who's fight?
Maurice Green's?
Yeah, that was rough, man. That
That
was
was a
rough.
rough one, bro.
And
That was a rough one.
I'd like to think we're boys. Obviously, he's got a lot more friends than me, but uh, yeah, I was rooting for him all the way, and he had that one in the bag. I thought it sucks. That's a big check getting potentially robbed from him.
We always talk about it, when you get
Don't
to
leave
a
it.
certain level.
Don't
Yeah,
leave it.
when you get to a certain level, you can't leave it to the judges.
Hey man, I
Mm-hmm.
promise. One thing, if it gets to the judges, it's not my fault. None of my fights have gone the distance. I don't ever want them to go the distance. Hopefully, they stop getting out of the first round. This one was a hair away, man. I had him on the ground after. But
Bro, I remember when I caught that too. I was like, "Oh shit!" Because like the video you see caught him with that straight right going down, and then I'm surprised that the ref didn't do like some kind of count or whatever or like
he, just,
anything.
he
Because
let him up and walk away.
yeah, he
You
was hurt
want
from
that?
that.
You want to? I'll rant real quick. You want to see that, and then go watch my fight in the PFL and how quickly they stopped that. Diageo was a dog though. He's lightning fast. That man was about 10 feet away within a smack me with the right. But
Shit.
but
I'm
it,
gonna have to go watch that fight
the
now. I didn't
difference
get to watch that
stopping
fight.
times is crazy because that dude was crawling on the ground in between rounds. Crazy,
You
crazy.
know that's another thing too. When we talk about don't leave it to the judges. I
Don't
mean, and it is not. For the casual fans out there that are not so sewn into the sport, we're not talking about it in a NBA basketball referees are bad type of thing or
Mhm.
in a NFL.
those are
It's hard. It's a hard thing in two ways. Number one, don't leave it to the referee to decide if you're out or not. Do
Mhm.
not. Do not do that. It's not something that you want to do. This ain't no did he step out of bounds. He's
yeah
looking at saving your life.
yeah.
In his head, he's thinking if he's out now, a couple more of these bad hits, and this person's life is in my hands.
Mhm.
So it's a totally different perspective than saying, "Hey, that was a bad call. That wasn't pass interference, or that wasn't a hold."
Mhm.
So when we say don't leave it to the judges, we absolutely mean it in every aspect.
Mhm.
Don't look like you're getting killed out there. They gonna stop the fight.
Not for
Now
a
on the
second. Not for a second.
Yeah.
and then on the flip side, we have seen plenty of referees. I don't know what they've seen and just jump, jump the gun, or like you said, just let them go. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude is out. What that was
Yeah.
last week when dude was
Yeah.
asleep.
Yeah.
That was
There
what you
was
guys were
actually
still talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the just this past UFC event we saw that there was we had the situation where it's like the problem with the ref, like the ref couldn't tell if the dude was out or not. The dude was awake, but the ref got like too scared and then he stopped it too early. And it's like
But
he has to think at the same time, like, bro, if he's already out, is he gonna lose his life or anything?
yeah.
I don't know if you were about to say something about that fight,
No.
but he pulled his hand and the dude was kind of like doing like this. So when he pulled his hand, any natural reaction, if I'm stiffening myself and you pull it and then let go, I'm gonna,
Come back.
you know,
Yeah.
right. So that he didn't tap, but then the fight right before that or right after that, dude was out when he hit the
Yeah.
floor. And he took like 5 or 6
That's right.
straight hammers to the nose,
hmm
to the dome.
I hope
And
I
it's,
never know what that feels like. Just being there.
bro,
Yeah, bro.
Never, man.
Like that's scary too because like
It's a
me
reality.
personally. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's a reality. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, like, you think about it, like if you're in that position, if you're already out and unconscious, you'd want the ref to stop it immediately before the dude lands 5, 6 full powered fucking hammer fists, bro. It's
Yeah.
like, come on.
A defense. No defense. Just
none.
open.
Yeah, he had no guard. He was out cold.
And
Yeah.
you let that go for 5 to 6 more punches, but what's his name? Which I think he was going to lose anyways. Regardless, he was in a bad position right there. He only had a couple more seconds. He was out for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But now that fight gets ruled as a no contest,
Yeah.
and both people get screwed.
Yeah, exactly. It's a rough. I mean, all I can hope is that the referee realizes how quickly his involvement changes everything, and truly has my best interest, but also realizes we both signed waivers and helped for him, did all that, because
Yeah.
there's nothing worse than going out there and like family showing up, and like I had family drive down from Northern Cali, get to the fight in Vegas, and then it's over in a minute 26, and everyone's standing around looking at each other like, what? For real? Have to drive right back, and it's a little disappointing, but you can't put it all on the ref. It's a lot. This sport is lightning fast. It's a game.
I don't know, Damian.
No.
I don't know, Damian. McGregor kind of put hands on that mascot, man. He beat the mascot up, bro. I think the referee should have stopped that. He should have stopped the whole game because McGregor.
That's a wrong guy to come on.
I don't know how he went to the hospital off of that, though. In reality, like, how did dude go to the hospital off of that?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, there's not much protection behind it. It's still just kind of like a thin, hollow mask. And that's at the end of the day, that's McGregor. He hits pretty hard. Even Dustin says that.
And that's money.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Miami mascot was behind the mask talking about McGregor, you're a pussy.
I'll be down there like, you ain't like a girl.
You see the old guy from the bar rolling up, ready to throw some hands.
For real, man.
Bro, he's gonna be team waiting for him to get revenge pretty soon. He's gonna have like the ragtag Avengers of that old person he hit, this person, they're all gonna be angry at him.
Hey, he'd be the retired Captain America.
So real quick, since that came up, for real. That was one of those Call of Duties.
You can start doing something for sure.
Right. Get your battle pass up.
That's a goal.
But since we brought up McGregor there, so McGregor is supposed to fight Michael Chandler. They got the whole show going on right now. The vets versus the rooks. And then McGregor beats up a mascot, sends it to the hospital. And then now, a little bit less as light, he gets the allegations of the sexual assault at the
Mhm.
nightclub.
Yeah.
Do you think, first off, uh, that the fight will still go on?
Man, I follow both of them, so it's like kind of opposite opinions. Man, I'm gonna say yes because there's so much money in it now.
Mhm.
It'll happen. They let Brock Lesnar get away with steroid use. So uh,
That's real.
Yeah.
That was
there,
right before the Frank Mir one, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they'll find a stipulation for sure.
I
Yeah.
I just think, and just in case other people are unaware, but McGregor also has to sign up for the testing program again. He
Mhm.
has something else that he has to do, and I think his deadline is like within the next 2 weeks.
Pretty, if not, I thought I saw that it was today, but maybe it's the next 2 weeks. But yeah,
I know it's
Mhm.
soon.
yeah, it's real,
Yeah.
and it sucks. But why not step away early like Khabib and just make it official? Sometimes
Mhm.
this is like we've been saying the whole time. If you're not focused for
Mhm.
a second, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
That injury was a little freak accident, and that sucks because it's stuff.
Anytime we've seen any of those bones dangling like that in the octagon,
Exactly. Yeah.
unfortunately, the careers didn't go
Never,
Mhm.
this
never
way.
really.
They went.
But he
Mhm.
is one of one, so I'm sure he can. Chandler is someone that can get hit, and man, McGregor's one of the best people to hit people. But
Mhm.
after this and title wise, nah, I there should be a time. I don't know why he's not acting. That's my plan. I'm gonna get in real soon, get my belt, be right back out. Get to keep myself pretty enough, and
He really
Mhm.
should be acting. And right now, man,
Yeah.
the way the Paul brothers have created this, second dimension of sporting events, I would have been jumping in WWE by now. The way McGregor be talking, I'd have
yeah,
been out there, your candy asses, and that's what I would have been.
man, that's another thing is bringing up that celebrity boxing because I did backyard boxing where you get or either all the toughest guys from school or
Mhm.
whatever. We all box. So same thing, just with a bigger circle. That's a good idea and is gonna definitely always have attention.
Yeah,
People want
Yeah.
people win or lose.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So we have a couple questions that we usually ask. I'm gonna ask mine real quick to you. Growing up, or even I mean now, um, who would you compare your fighting style to the most?
I definitely channeled McGregor since this was my first time going southpaw. This last fight, I don't even think I landed any right hands down the middle, but that's who I thought I was in there.
I mean, hey, that shot that I saw that I got in the reel, it was just a straight right going straight down the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a little more like wrestler type, like either.
Got like a half overhand.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely want to be just dominant. I don't ever want to just be known as like a boring grappler, but Khabib was dominant, and unfortunately, he's known as a boring grappler. But if that's what it takes to have that perfect record.
Mhm.
When I go pro, I'm gonna be caring about my record. Right now, I'm out there trying to learn. I obviously am gonna do everything I can to win every time, but when I get paid, I'm gonna. It might get boring for a few seconds, depending on the level of the fight. But
Yeah.
Khabib did it perfectly. Mayweather, that's defense. You
Mhm.
got it's counter shots, and then definitely if we're gonna go there, Pereira, that left hook, man, that left hook is my shot. Just like
Mhm.
we were twins. I don't know if you guys see it, but me and Alex Pereira are twins uh, for sure. We got to get that.
Nice. Yeah, and especially too in that case, like as you were saying, you want to be able to protect your longevity, your health,
Yep.
your
Yep.
looks too, and that is something that's also more strategic to make sure that you not only get paid, but you protect your looks too, and everything about your
Yep.
health and all that.
Yep. And styles make fights, man.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. This dude, I knew it was gonna be a banger. I didn't think it was gonna last more than a minute 30, but Biagio didn't think it was going past the first round. But once we landed our best shots on each other, that's when my mind wandered. I was like, oh, okay, you know, he took. I thought he was. I underestimated him because he was has the name. I thought he was hiding behind that. Dude's tough. You know, he's definitely
Mm-hmm.
made for this. You can't throw and just anybody in here and move like how he does and take the shots, man. I busted his ear all up and he took down on the chin. Didn't I kicked his legs so hard, spun around, didn't even miss a step, brought it right back. You know, you can't train.
Damn.
You got dogs out here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. How much do you think? Because I asked my other question earlier. I'm gonna let Josh ask it his
Yeah.
here in a second. But how much do you think a guy's career can be either projected in an upward, motion, or kind of killed uh, due to the style of fights that he takes?
Uh, so styles make fights. I think you can definitely keep a fight where you want it if you're good enough. You know, I I only see the most boring way a fight will go for me is if I don't know, have someone who engages in the grappling and then where it's just a back and forth scramble for 9 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
people might call that boring, but it's going to be high level and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I styles definitely the way you choose to fight. I'm never gonna choose to go to the ground, you know, unless I can slam you on your back or do something dramatic in the process. Then I'll
Mm-hmm.
take you to the ground. But as long as you're standing there and we're willing to get smooth with it, you know, that's probably where it's gonna be at, because that's easiest for people to digest and comprehend. You know, I appreciate a lot of people that are in it appreciate the grappling exchanges, but to keep them checks coming and fans screaming their head off. I mean, you saw nobody was in their seats, you know, because
Yeah.
and it's everything in it, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and it's about that glory that you're going out on your shield when you step into that cage, and in your mind you're putting everything on the line to prove what your potential is.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, my fighting style, watch every fight. That's how I live my life, and it depends how you take that, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. You
Definitely means
can't
a lot. Definitely means a lot. I mean, like you said, it'll make you or break you.
exactly. You can, man. That first fight was the first time I ever rode an ambulance. Every fight after I throw up, just due to like adrenaline
Mm-hmm.
dumping, I couldn't answer the questions fast enough for the doctor. So they're like, you probably should take an ambulance. And then they said it was covered. So I was like, we riding, you know, that was the first time. And like I split my head open, broke my hand out of my hand before, and never rode an ambulance. First time was a fight, you know. You got to take those lumps and just keep moving forward, you know.
You
Yeah.
know, this is a very, 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 very interesting comment here,
Yeah,
because it is very, very true. And that's kind of like what we were talking about a moment ago with styles, and you know, people can get suckered into fights
Mm-hmm.
because of style
yep,
and fuck up their path. You know, Khabib is a guy that, you know, a lot of people in the beginning of his upcoming wanted to challenge because of his style,
mm.
and quickly found out he was not the one to play with. And then
Yeah,
you flip and you look at Sean O'Malley,
uh-huh.
and almost everyone that is in his division wants to fucking fight Sean
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
O'Malley. I mean, at
Unless,
least they say that.
unless people will actually take that fight, it's probably a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah, because
but,
they learn the same thing, but there's such a far difference in the
yeah,
two.
yep. And I mean, that depends what you want to be known for. Do you just want the greatness? Do you want a little bit of flashiness with it? Do you want some money with it? You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's no grappling bonus when there is. But for now, it's knockout and submission. Like I said, if I could get you down, bro, one thing, grappling is exhausting. You get down there, you guys probably saw it. That fool had me on the fence. Oh, we're gonna start grappling. Okay, I started smacking him on the head. I was like, "Oh, you're gonna make me do this?" I thought, that those grappling exchanges are rough in MMA. It's a high pace. You could get caught in anything. If you could get hit with that. It's exhausting.
Yeah,
But
man.
that undoubtedly will make you money or keep you safe.
What you think about that comment, Josh?
Oh, with that one, no, I agree exactly what you're saying because I mean, you look at Izzy for actually no, better yet, Connor throughout his career. There's a lot of styles were making that fight, but it was not only that, but it was the type of art styles that were coming into challenge. Because when Chad Mendes was coming in, that's when there was all the arguments of wrestlers coming against him and the argument, oh, what's going to happen when he's on the ground? And then Connor got back up, overcame the challenge. So I think it's a lot of the same play out, and it could make or break certain careers. Because if you try to throw, I mean, actually, a good example is Cyril Gain versus John Jones. Clearly we saw that there was a gap, a very serious gap in wrestling, which is something, especially at heavyweight, you're going to need if you're going to challenge somebody at going 260 plus. So for that, it's again, yeah, it's make or break across the board, especially which type of styles is matching up.
You know what's crazy about that Chad Mendez comment is that he's now BKFC champ. Like,
Hey, right time, everything. But to say what so good, I think your style might more accurately just put a cap on what you can make, because Khabib, say O'Malley had his record, imagine that,
Mm-hmm.
but you can only get so far and so popular doing the same thing, unless
yeah,
you know.
like that's a great fucking point, because when you look at it in the standpoint of Kobe Covington, if
Yeah,
Kobe Covington was fucking, if he had any of those top guys that we just mentioned, right? If he had any of the streaks of some of the majors,
or
he
flashy
would have
knockout.
any of that shit. He probably would
Mhm.
have been one of the highest paid, period,
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah,
he sold the fuck out of fights.
yeah. In this game, I think you either need the pretty record or the flashy fights to keep
Mm-hmm.
getting those chances. If you don't have the good record, you're not going to keep getting the optimal chances. If you're not at least showing up and performing every fight to active ability, you're not going to keep
Mm-hmm.
getting the chances. And so
And
that's the plan.
there's not. I don't know about you guys, but I think the health aspect has definitely been seen as of the last 5 to 10 years, way more than previously. Because you're not going to get our Goudas, you're not going to get your Chris Liebens that much anymore. You're
Yeah,
not going to get those type of guys that have long careers as those guys did. Where it's just not that type of era right
and
Mm-hmm.
people are getting better. You stand there and get some shots, man. You're going to be a highlight real fast, bro.
now.
Like, I'm still in shock at how Terrence McKinney just came out and bam, bam, 1-2 that fool. And then that fool is on a highlight reel run now, This game,
Damn.
and you just keep showing up and fighting and change your life in the night. That's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only that, but the influence that your social media presence now has on it too, because with like Sean O'Malley, with a lot of his leverage and his ability to demand certain style fights and all that has been his social media draw and his ability to sell the tickets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he started it the right way. I mean, he paved the way for a lot of people to take some from,
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely someone you can learn from that did it right. There's a few of them that did it right financially in the game. A lot of them, it's a new sport, like officially. So we're
Mm-hmm.
all in the fly, and you know.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Exactly. And so my question for you, I gotcha, is for one fight, if you could have anybody in your corner to coach or be a cornerman, they could be alive or dead in any combat sport. Who would you want to have in your corner?
Huh. Well, I got to get my grandpa in there soon. He's 75. But if someone like celebrity wise. Ooh, I gotta go crazy. I would say, damn, Kodak Black. I don't know. Yeah,
I
that'd be
love
crazy, bro.
it.
That'd be crazy. I hope you hear
Uh,
come out. That's gonna be a banger for sure.
That'd be
man.
what's up. You just see him hopping into the cage in
Imagine
between rounds, like,
if
you
you're the
gotta fucking knock him out.
fan.
Kodak's definitely gonna crowd surf if you get it
Oh
done.
yeah, oh yeah. Imagine how lit that crowd would be.
Right,
Bro.
man. Yeah, man, Isaiah, this was fun, man. We really appreciate you coming on and
Oh, of
chopping it
course.
up with us, and we enjoyed your family. We enjoyed the
Mm.
fight. I hope to see you back in there really, really soon, somewhere out here, so we can
Oh yeah,
do some more coverage of you.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Get another Wayne interview for, or actually, no, we didn't get you last time, so we're gonna have to get you a Wayne interview this next time.
we're
Yeah,
gonna have
yeah,
to do it
yeah,
like Nipsey and double up.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to fight here. My opponents, the last times it pulled out, so this one didn't, and we were able to stay in Arizona. But I'm gonna keep fighting. I hope it's here because it's the home.
Yeah.
The energy was different, bro. The energy was different.
Exactly. And hey, we see the energy too. I mean, these comments alone, like, dude, the support you guys incredible, man.
Hey, they know, man. They know. Those are my boys for sure.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. Nah,
Definitely.
it's different. I appreciate you guys. You guys were awesome the whole time. Now you know a little bit, and you're gonna keep getting a better taste every time. Hopefully, the performances stay getting better because we're on a different path for sure.
Hell yeah, that's what's up, man. I'm excited. That's for sure. And dude, I love talking to you, man. I every single time I'll say it again, it's a privilege to get to meet you guys, get to know you, getting to know the story, especially on such a level too, because at the end of the day, you guys don't have to accept the interviews, you don't have to talk to us, and so it's always more than appreciated. And
Yeah,
so any way we could give back to you guys, we're always doing everything we can.
yeah, no, man, you guys are doing it awesome. I like everything you're doing here for sure, and I mean, we're a little bit more than brute savages, so it's cool to get that insight. Yeah,
That's our
Exactly.
main focus, man. We talk about it all the time. Is
yeah,
bringing out the human side of the fighter, telling the
yeah.
story, letting it be heard. Why are you doing this? Not everybody just wants to get in the fucking cage and get the crap beat out of them, and then go train for his fucking 30 more days to get back in the cage, get the crap beat out of you. Like, why? What
Yeah,
made this? Why do you love it?
yeah,
Who's Isaiah Figueroa? What makes up you? And
yeah,
that's what we do this for. And before you get out of here, let us, who do you want to say anything to? Let us know where they can find you, find what you do, and all that stuff.
yeah. Damn, I definitely want to shout out. My brother. He's my sponsor of that Superfly jumpsuit you saw me walk out in.
And that shit was
Hey.
clean.
Yeah, he has those in cream and black. Hit him up. His is like Don Debo on Instagram at Don Debo Figueroa. My magic massage guru. She does cream, and I'll be making an ad on her on my Instagram. So just follow me on Instagram. You'll get all those. The people that I shout out daily. It's the family out here. Everybody that tuned in tonight. You guys are definitely the real ones for sure. Yeah.
Definitely. And what's your Instagram handle?
It's at the number 4, Santiago, Santiago, and then the number 7. So at 4 Santiago 7.
Okay, bet. I like that. I like that too because it's like
Yeah.
4-7. I like that. Hey,
Yeah.
there we go. There we go.
I got a little bit of, yeah. See, Bill and Mandy, that's what's up, bro. Yeah, he threw it down there.
Hey, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. We want to get you back on again.
ASAP. If not July, early August. I'm there. Sign the contract, send it to me. I'm always ready, bro.
Exactly. I love it, man.
I'm here. Give me a fight.
Hey, every promoter, you hear it now?
They know. They know about me.
They ready?
Yeah, they know. Yeah,
All
I appreciate
right.
you guys though. Take it easy. God bless. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah,
You take care.
Yeah, thanks for
appreciate
having
you.
me. Keep
Yeah,
working. Love it. Yes, sir.
yeah. Peace, brother.
Man,
That was a dope ass interview.
another great one, man. Great one. He said, let's go, road to Dana. For real, man. For
Let's
real.
do it. Well, you see, I'm one of the next Ultimate Fighters.
Right. You know, just like we've seen quite a few in this farm system we have out here in Arizona come out here, do their thing, whether it's through Rough, whether it's through LFA or LFAV out here too. Yeah, whatever it is, man. Our farm system out here, the roster that we have out here in Arizona, it's only getting better with
Mm-hmm.
every performance. And a lot of guys are going to the big guys, going to the big shots.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's we get to see the next generation of fighters start their journey to make their stamp because like what he was talking about, his biggest inspiration was from the Chuck Liddell era, the Tito Ortiz era, Dan Henderson, like the true OGs, the founding fathers that kickstarted this entire sport. And now we have the opportunity to see the next era of these guys that's going to lead the future and pave the way for all the future generations.
No, for sure, and that's another big thing too. Is Josh, we've covered Samurai Soul, we've covered Rough, we've covered OG boxing, we've covered Rage in the Cage, we covered Rage in the Ring. Um, am I missing anything right now? I don't think so at the moment. Oh, we covered the Muay Thai Super Series with Rough,
Oh
um,
yeah, and then High Roller BJJ.
and then High Roller BJJ the last few months. One thing I'm gonna tell you, bro, and we've had guys within these organizations go to the UFC, go to Bellator, fight in PFL, fighting all these different organizations. And we've talked about it in numerous occasions about how thin the line is between amateurs and pro now.
Mm-hmm.
It's also getting just as thin between the promotions. These things, these cards are fucking stacked time in, time again.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why I fell in love with Ruff. Jason does a fucking tremendous job in setting up some of the best fights. Who I don't know who it was that said it earlier in the this one. Styles make
Yeah.
fights, and they do a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing these same guys go on to the next level afterwards, win, lose, or draw.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And it's like crazy to think because, we just especially the past year and a half, I could honestly say we've interviewed over what, 200 fighters? Like
Close to it.
yeah, because you figure, I mean, every event now we're interviewing 10, 15. I mean, in one day did over 20 interviews. And it's getting to hear each of their stories and the potential that they all got, bro, is just absolutely phenomenal. And then the promoters themselves that's recognizing it and knowing how to bring these fights together, that's now building the story for each of these guys.
Damien, my guy, always coming with the fire.
Hey, okay, what was the
Um,
question?
what's your guys' thoughts on Mayweather's son and John Gotti 3 fight? Why do y'all think this fight wasn't hyped up or even promoted? I mean, it's Mayweather's son. Well, first of all, uh, Mayweather versus John Gotti. I thought it was gonna be one of these other celebrity boxing matches and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Mayweather needs to understand that he's now fighting some of the guys that he or his dad beat their fathers' asses and shit. So there's a different type of animosity for some of these guys coming
Mm-hmm.
in the ring for him. Now, outside of what happened in the ring, Gotti was holding, Gotti was throwing some cheap shots when the referee was stopping the fight or breaking them up.
Mm-hmm.
Referee stopped the fight. Was it should have been stopped? I don't know. Whatever.
I know that the reason why the ref stopped it was because the fact that Gotti wasn't listening when he kept on grabbing too much and doing those cheap shots on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was an exhibition match. I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure it is. Mayweather wasn't even trying to whoop him. It seemed to me,
Mm-hmm.
but that's where it should have stopped. Everything afterwards um, was a circus, bro. First of all, Mayweather better recognize who that family is. Um, in no way, shape, or form do I think that the mob lifestyle is over with. It's just laying in the background, chilling right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kicking it, making money more than anything else, being enforcers or anything that we can see to the public's general eye.
Mm-hmm.
Um, over one of their family members, though, I definitely think the mob mentality that we were seeing in the movies, or back when Dick Tracy was hopping out with a 50,
Yeah.
50 round clip. I think we could see that again very soon. If someone was to mess directly with their family and it happened to be a public
Mm-hmm.
figure.
Yeah.
And,
Nah.
and and real quick, you know, you know how quickly an example of that is if you guys didn't see Gotti's sister threatened Mayweather's daughter on Instagram,
Oh.
on Twitter. So it can get really nasty really quick over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I didn't even really think about that part too much. Honestly, I know too. On top of it, with what Damien was saying, like they didn't promote it. I mean, if you notice, it kind of started leaking, coming out that all these fights and exhibitions that Mayweather is doing, there's less and less people showing up, and it's just more empty seats. And I think that also has to play with going to like a little like philosophical point. You remember in like the first Spider-Man when Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin was telling um Spider-Man how it's like the world is going to see you as a hero until sooner or later they get tired and they want to see your downfall, right?
Right.
Well, it's the same principle as well. Mayweather, he's 50-0 as a pro, and he's always had the bragging rights. And now he's just going through an exhibition where he's genuinely just kind of fucking around and beating people up and having fun in the process. For charity, for exhibition, for fun and whatnot. But people eventually they're going to start to get tired of it. And I think that's kind of what's happening now. If people
I
really
mean, he's still
put
making a lot of pay-per-view money though.
yeah, pay-per-view, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like as many people show up anymore.
And I 100% agree. But again, you and Damien, echoed there were no promotion that I seen. None
Yeah.
that I seen. Not until it was my ass whooping going on in the ring, and I ain't talking about the fight. It was
Yeah,
after the fight that
I
we
only
saw all that
found
shit.
yeah, bro. I only found out about it after the fact. Straight up. After it wasn't until that brawl happened that I even found out about the fight to begin with. And that's why I think so too. Like it's people are starting to get tired about it, tired of just seeing Mayweather going through all these exhibitions, and they're just moving on now. If it's something that's going to be more of like a high money fight or something that's probably going to be like a really like bigger test to him, then I'd say yeah. But if it's just going to be all these money fights, eventually the fans start to get tired of it because they already know how the ending is going to go.
Yeah. I mean, we predicted the last couple Mayweather fights. Nobody would have predicted this. I mean, obviously it
Mm-hmm.
was the ending no one could have predicted. But no, for sure, bro. I mean, there's way too much at stake for you to be fighting with one of the Gottis
Mm-hmm.
after the fight
Yeah,
without the
bro.
gloves on, and you weren't even trying to fight the dude in the ring when you have the reason to fight him.
Yeah.
So yeah, they should have stopped that for sure. Um, so I do have to before we get out of here, real quick. Um, just wanted to mention 291. I think this is going to be a really, really, really heavy
Oh,
card.
bro.
Um,
This is probably, I think, personally, I think probably one of the most stacked cards we have all year right now.
bro, this is such an important card as well. With Charles winning the other day and the fashion that he did,
Mm-hmm.
this puts him back into a position where does he deserve the rematch right away? I think so. He went out, got his W. I think he does deserve a rematch. He was a great champion at the time. But then you heard what's his name the other day, Islam, talk about, what about Dustin and Gauthier? What if Gaethje wins?
Gaethje.
Gaethje, you know how it goes.
No, no worries. I got my speech impediment. Don't worry, boo boo.
Don't even start me, Josh. But you know what I mean, though. But what about Gaethje? What if Gaethje wins? Does Gaethje get a shot? So, do you think, first of all, this fight is gonna be whether or not the win who, depending on who wins, is gonna decide whether or not Charles gets the rematch, or do you think Charles got it without this fight?
That's a tough one. So, me personally, with Charles Oliveira, especially getting a dominant performance like that, he deserves his right to go back and reclaim the belt again. I think that's only fair, especially that he deserves a rematch, especially after proving himself. But then I know yet. Truthfully, I wouldn't even see Poirier or Gaethje right now on Islam's radar because the fact that Charles coming off of this win and now in this route, I think he deserves the matchup. And then for Poirier and Gaethje, also just themselves personally, I think this may also be a type of retirement fight too, bro. Like, I mean, this is going to be Poirier's third run at the belt. This is going to be Gaethje's third run at the belt. And Gaethje said himself too in his last fight against Rafael, he doesn't got much in left or much in him anymore. And this is probably going to be his last title run. And so if he ends up losing, we may see Gaethje retire. And then with Dustin, truthfully, I don't know if he's ready to retire yet, but I don't know, man.
So, and this is why I bring it up. Two reasons. One is what you just said.
Mhm.
Gaethje, we just heard him say recently, "Hey, man, I got a lot of mileage on these knuckles. It might be time for me to call it quits."
Mhm.
And especially, I don't blame him. He's had some fucking fights, and
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he takes the most trauma too because he
out of
he
that
just walks
division,
forward.
hell yeah. Mm.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
but yeah, no. If if he wins, because I don't know if you saw the interview or what the statement that Islam made. Islam said he
Mhm.
wants to. The best thing for him would to be add new names to his list.
I agree with that as well. I definitely agree with that because if you look at other people that like make these memes or whatever, they're literally comparing Islam's record of opponents as being to Dustin's, to Gaethje's, especially to Charles too, because Charles, he's literally beat everybody in
Everybody.
the top 5 of the division. And with Islam, it's like I think one or two people. So he wants to add more legitimacy to his legacy.
So Damien, you want a legit CM Punk? Is that what you're asking for? Because I think that's how Gaethje would come into the WWE. He come in just like CM Punk, and he'll be just really able out there, twisting these heads off. But I really believe that. I don't know. I believe that it's one of those things, bro. It's one of those things. It's a hard decision, because if Gaethje does win, I don't disagree with Islam at all. The best thing for Islam would be for Islam to fight somebody new and have a new name underneath his belt.
Mhm.
However, I think that's kind of messed up because Izzy just came off the same situation and got to run it right back.
Charles had to
So,
go through Benil first.
and he's already gone through Benil. So Charles has to fight two people to come back after whooping everybody. We were talking about Charles not having people to fight left
Mhm.
if he beats Islam. So, going backwards again, this is going to be very, very big on, not only for the guys involved, but for the rest of the division. Most importantly, what happens with Islam and
Yeah.
Oliveira. fight number 2, man. I'm really excited about this fight. Really, 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 really
I
excited about this.
know, bro. The
I'm
real
almost more
question,
excited about this fight.
yeah, the real question is though, what I'm worried about is the wrestling, because you look at what Jan Blachowicz did to Izzy when they fought. Izzy, he's a kickboxer, and look at what he did in regards to wrestling to Alex. I don't know. I think that's going to be a big problem.
Yeah, it definitely can. Because, like you said, uh, this is a big boy. This is a big boy. He's 205. They're fighting at light heavy.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know, man. I'm excited to see what he can do with somebody his size because he was bigger than Izzy.
Yeah, bro, he's freakishly big, and I just looking at that right now, I'm actually surprised. I can't believe Jan is 40.
You know?
Yeah, no, I didn't know that he's 40 years old, man. Holy crap!
Yeah, he got to turn it up now.
Damn.
Yeah.
And this one, I'm excited. I don't know who Akram is, Alice Karov, but I'm definitely excited to see Costa back in the cage because I forget who we fought last, but I know he's coming off of a win.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is gonna be really good. I think both of these guys are really, really, really good fighters.
Hmm.
Obviously, they both are looking for, that thing that throws them into the what do you call it? Championship run. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, so he can make another run for the belt.
Yeah, because Ikram just fought Phil House at the Sterling versus Pseudo fight.
Hmm.
Um, his only loss has come to Kazmat Chimov.
Chimaev.
Hmm. That was his only loss. That was back in 2019. That was in
Okay.
Brave. That wasn't even in the UFC. The UFC.
I actually remember that because I remember at one point we were doing research on Chimaev, and that was like the biggest test I had seen so far, aside from Gilbert Burns.
Hmm. Hmm. So this should be really good. I mean,
Hmm.
we know what Paulo's about. Um, this should be another really good match. This
Yeah.
motherfucking card is stacked, guys. Tony Ferguson
Oh,
versus Bobby Green. Is this Fergie's farewell?
I think so too. If if Ferguson doesn't get this W, I think personally it's gonna be, if he doesn't retire, he may be forced to retirement because look at what just recently happened with him too. I think it was a DUI crash.
Yeah.
There's a
I,
lot going on. I feel bad too for him.
I feel like Fergie retires regardless, win, lose, or draw.
Mhm.
I think this is his last fight.
Yeah, yeah, and hey, he had an absolutely phenomenal run too.
Oh, great run. Great run. Kevin Holland. I always love watching Kevin Holland, bro.
Bro, I'm going with Kevin Holland. I fuck with Kevin Holland. I think he's a dope ass dude.
You know, yeah, I gotta go Kevin. I always like going to see Kevin. And then like there's just so much more.
Even that
Derek
prelim.
Lewis versus Marcos Lima is gonna be freaking awesome.
Then you got
Expect a
Wonder Boy.
knockout. Steven Thompson versus Michael Pereira.
I'm actually personally offended that that's just on the prelims.
I mean, where would you squeeze it up ahead of?
That is true. I mean, it's so stacked already, bro. I mean,
This card is stupid.
the prelims itself is another main event on top of it, bro.
Yeah. I mean, this card is bona fide all the way through.
Yeah. Hey,
Johan and Matthew, and then Roman and Claudio
mhm.
close it out.
Yeah. Hey, you think that we should try to do like some kind of live coverage of this event? That big as with as big as it's gonna be?
There's a possible. What the hell is that? I mean, it's possible. Um, and making sure we don't have to do anything else that weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, make sure we don't have.
Man.
One last question before you end it. Thoughts on Nunez's retirement? Do you think it was too early to retire, or was it the right time? You know, that's a hard question. I don't know what Nunez's plans are after her fighting career.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Personally, as a fan, my answer is I would have fucking wanted to see Julia Pena and Harry one more time.
Yes,
Um,
that's what I was gonna say.
that's my only. That's literally my only gripe. Not even
Mm-hmm.
a gripe because she's done so much for the sport, but that's my only gripe.
Yeah, that's mine too. Just to end the drama and the beef between them, since they were originally scheduled to fight, but then ended up falling through since Pena got injured. Just to end that. But I mean, otherwise, with Amanda, I mean, look at her resume. She already dominated just everyone that came through her. And even when Julia beat her the first time, she came right back in the second one. Purposely went through all 5 rounds just to make a point to prove that she's better. So it's like, what else does she have to prove? I mean, her record speaks for itself with Holly Holmes, Ronda Rousey. I mean, even when she fought Valentina Shevchenko too.
I mean, the only thing for me is Kat Zingano. You know, I don't even know who this Alexis chick is, but the Kat Zingano thing. She lost to Kat Zingano. They never got to fight again.
Mm-hmm.
Then you lose to Julia Pena. You come fight her again, and then you retire and don't give her a chance to redeem that,
Mm-hmm.
to get that back. That's the only one for me. Like seriously, she's the goat.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, 2-time, two division champion,
For multiple years too.
multiple years. Probably one of the most exciting fighters in our era, men or
Yeah.
women, male or female.
I
Um,
think too she's honestly, I think too she's the longest reigning 2 division champion too. Think about it. Who else has had such a long reign in 2 different weight divisions like her? Male, female, period.
yeah, no, no. I mean,
DC was for a short while before you had oh, what's his name? I'm in brain fart right now. Before he came Stipe. Before Stipe reclaimed it back with
yeah,
Connor, it was just one and done before he vacated the one. And then
yeah,
I
no,
mean Henry Cejudo, immediate retirement as well.
yeah. First ballot Hall of Fame, hell yeah, definitely. Um, I don't know, man. It was sudden to me. And
Hmm.
I don't know if you saw what Julia Pena said, like, hey,
Oh
that's
yeah.
bullshit. Um, I think there's gonna be a gray cloud over this situation for a while,
Yeah.
just because we were anticipating it so much.
Hmm.
Um,
And how old is Amanda too?
Amanda she was born in '88, so she's 34.
34. Okay. Yeah, because I mean honestly though, I kind of get the reason why she wanted to retire, especially with it being, as you said, so sudden. And she's always expressed a lot too about being present with her family and whatnot. And with her, like we talked about too, like what else is there for her to prove with every? I mean, obviously instead of the Juliana fight and then the other one you mentioned, but I think too she feels like she's getting tired, like she doesn't have that same pep, and she doesn't want to ride out the career too long, like we've seen with like Cody Garbrandt, BJ Penn, and whatnot. Instead, she wants to try to end it on that high note.
Yeah, which is cool, man. Who are we to say when somebody should retire? Who are we
Yeah.
to say anything that we don't know what's going on in her life? She might have a family member in need. She might miss her family. Maybe there was a
Hmm.
promise that was made some years
Hmm.
back. I
Yeah.
don't freaking know. You know what
Yeah.
I
Like even
mean?
like Habib, for example.
Yeah. I mean, now he was a little bit different, but he was ass. I mean, he was whooping everybody's ass still.
Yeah. And we all still have that same argument with him. Like everybody's saying is like, oh, but what if he would have fought Charles, or what if he fought so and so and whatnot? And yeah, it feels like it's gonna be the same kind of run around like between Amanda and that. But it's like what you said. Who are we to judge on that?
We can't judge, man. We can't be the judge on it. We can talk as much stuff as we want to.
Mm-hmm.
We can say whatever we want. But at the end of the day, we are not getting in the ring with them. We are not taking those shots.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what the doctor's saying. There's just so many. There's just so much that goes into it. At 35 years old, what are we? Who are we to say anything? 34
Mm-hmm.
years old. Who are we to say
Exactly. Exactly.
anything? Before we get out of here, Josh, anything you trying to say?
Um, for anybody out there, if you know anybody that is looking to sponsor, we are definitely looking for a sponsorship for ASAP. We are planning a convention too for next month, so we're also looking for for sponsors to help support that, and just across the board. It's our goal is to bring out the best of the community in this industry, and not only that, but to bring out the human side and build a career and a legacy for these guys.
Yeah. A little a little bit more on what he was referring to. We are going to Canton, Ohio, Hall of Fame Village, July 14th and 15th. There will be a tech, sports, financial conference out there. A lot of big stuff going on. So we're definitely making our way out there. We'll be getting our backdrops, our banners, our flyers, all that good stuff. So if you have a business, a business that needs to be seen by more potential customers and also investors, things of that nature, reach out to us. Give us, message me, message one of us. We'll get to the right person and
Hmm.
get that set up. But yeah, we don't have too much time. So if you are interested, get to us before we get everything printed out. We'll have the 500 Lounge hosts down there. Sam, we got the host of Tar Heels show and a couple other things with Ray. Josh and myself, the Throwing Hands crew, will be making our ways down there.
Hmm.
A couple other guys, Michael Keaton, one of our new guys here on the ASAP network. He does a couple of shows. He does a Saturday show. He does a wrestling show. He does a lot of stuff outside of here. He'll be down there. This is going to be for the Total Experience Conference. So a lot of stuff going on, guys. If you do not follow Throwing Hands on Instagram, what are you waiting for? Go follow that now. Get a lot of our highlight reels,
Hmm.
a lot of stuff when we're out. We go live there a lot of times. We keep you up to date on what's going on in the city, in Arizona, and when it comes to combat sports. A lot of that is right there. But other than that, man, it was good to be back. It's some
Bro, for real.
I love doing the traveling and covering the events, and I love being behind the scenes, getting all that footage, talking to the guys, meeting the guys. But I love talking to shits,
Hmm.
shooting the shits, and you know talking about. I guess we can't talk about shit we ain't seen, so we gotta be out there working too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And with the grind, we just got to figure out the life balance. As we get our groove, as we start figuring out things, and especially as we start growing, we're gonna find out everything is gonna get easier.
Right, right. Well, I don't know. You
More
talking
money.
busy? Definitely more money. We were busy. That weekend we did 3 events in a row. Boy, when we
Oh,
left at and then the third one to top it off, it had to be a weed event.
yeah, it
So
was
I
like,
I ate some infused food. I mean, infused food. I was smoking a little bit, and boy, we left up out of there. I'm like, I am going to bed. Oh no,
oh my
I don't even
God,
know if I'm
bro.
gonna make it.
Dude, yeah, that
Man,
was such a brutal freaking weekend. Brutal. I'm surprised I even did commit to going to the high roller BJJ, but I'm glad I did. But otherwise, oh my god. And I worked the next day.
it was because of one of our behind the scenes crew members, Ashley.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were like, she hit us. She was talking to us on Saturday. She's like, "So we're going to the high rollers tomorrow?" No, no. Hey, high rollers tomorrow. Next thing you know, Josh pulls up. She convinced Josh first. Then
Mm-hmm.
Josh pulls up, and he's like, "Yo, you gotta make it down here." So I pulled up, and I feel like a zombie.
Yeah, dude. It was hard to stay awake, that's for sure. And then I don't think I got back home until like 2:30, and then I had to get up 2 hours later for work. It was so bad, bro.
Yeah, no, we ain't doing that. The 3 in a weekend thing, and then definitely if it's a week, nope. Pass.
We gotta make sure we got nothing going on the next day.
Man, I was up in here asleep, walking. For real. But yeah, man, it was good to be back. It was good to be back. Who do we got on next week? We got Luke.
That's why I'm waiting on a response from him right now. But yeah, definitely. I'm looking to get Luke Skywalker on. You know, he fought just past Rage in the Cage 190. He got a 6-second first round knockout. So hopefully we get him on soon. So stay tuned.
Yeah, no, that would be a really good one to get on. Luke really did his thing on that, man. He really did his thing on that. There was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Particular fight, that particular setup, that Rage, I should say, event. There's a lot that went on that day. I think I have it. Hold on.
Oh, the knockout.
Yeah, we're gonna show it real quick before we get out of here. That's how we're gonna end it. Go ahead, Luke. Take this away.
Bah. Oh man.
We gotta run it back.
Bah. And you know, I feel bad for Zach, the guy that got knocked out, because I like him. But that was a nasty knockout.
So that was a nasty one. We'll do one more with the Rage in the Cage. All right, Josh. Till next time.
Yep. Until next time, we see you guys. Peace. Cornucopia.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Rebel soul child got a fist ball. I'm a respawn of ancestors and I'm blessed, They are not him, tell him fess up. I get check stub, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless. Yeah, I got next up, right? No, we not the same, can see when I look in your iris. You likely to talk but not ready